Hey guys, Sebo back for another video, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to get the most out of the ChatGPT-4's latest vision capabilities using my M.A.G.I.C framework. Let's crack on. Alright, so you can see the M.A.G.I.C framework on the screen. I came up with this framework over last week. I've had access to ChatGPT-4's vision capabilities over the last 7 days, and I've done hundreds of use cases, and then I thought, where am I deriving the most value? Like, what are the use cases I'm getting the most value for? And that's kind of how I work backwards to build out this framework. That's hopefully quite easy for you guys to remember. And so what you're seeing on the screen here are essentially the 80-20 of use cases where I'm getting the most value at the moment from this latest vision capabilities, which is essentially you can upload images and then you can ask ChatGPT to do an action, complete a task for you, okay? So the five main use cases or categories right now, so the 80-20 that I'm getting the most value from. Meaning, so that's the M for M.A.G.I.C. I'm asking it at a high level, right? Describe what I'm seeing, interpret something. This is like a high level. So give me meaning, interpret it, describe this thing that this image that I'm giving you, okay? Two is use case number two. I'm getting a lot of value from at the moment. It's giving advice, right? So this is real feedback. Is this a good design or not, right? Third is generate. So we're transforming the image I'm uploading into a different format, whether it's turning it into code or it's turning into text, right? So that's three, generate. So generate use cases. Third is identify. So I'm uploading an image and I'm actually asking ChatGPT-4 Vision to actually identify what I'm looking at. Like, what car model is it, right? So that's getting really prescriptive around, like, you're getting what's in this image, right? That's identify. And the fifth use case I'm getting most value from right now, and last in the M.A.G.I.C framework, is consult. And this is essentially the next step on advice. So advice is around just specific feedback, like is this good or not? Consulting's like what you'd hire a consultant to do, right? It's like, yeah, is it good or not? But like, help me, guide me. How can I improve it? Give me, this is the context, or this is the objective. Steer me in the right direction based on this image input. So at a high level, that is the five use cases I believe right now that I'm getting the most value from, essentially the 80-20 for the ChatGPT-4 Vision model. All right, so let's go through and I'll show you a couple of examples of each. Okay, so we're in, you need GPT-4, obviously, right? So this is paid. And this is where you upload the images. If you haven't or if you don't have access to it yet. And so let's start with the meaning one, right? Let me show you an example of meaning. All right, so I'm uploading an image right here. I'll quickly show you what the image is of. It's a beach. So if you remember the M, it's really around like helping you interpret or describe at a high level kind of like what's going on. Yeah. So for this one here, let's write something like explain the underlying emotion or sentiment conveyed by this image. All right. So we're asking ChatGPT-4 to like give us some meaning and context around this image, right? So this is just an image of a beach here in Sydney, Australia. Okay, this image depicts a serene and breathtaking scene of a beach during sunset. The vibrant hues and purples, pinks, blues, and sky contrast beautifully with the darkening horizon, and the gentle waves of the ocean provides a sense of calm and tranquility. All right, so this is the M in M.A.G.I.C, right? So there's plenty of different questions and prompts you can ask along it, but at a like a high level framework to think through it. The M is around this like giving meaning to a photo or an image that you upload, all right? At a high level is how I like to think of it. So let's go to the A, all right? So that was the M for meaning, interpreting and describing kind of like what's in the image. That was the M, that's meaning. So now let's go to advice, which is right, providing feedback. So let's go into, and right now, I've uploaded a logo. I've just got a random logo from the internet. This is called Build Tech, a Build Tech logo. And so for advice, you could write something like, here is my logo for my company. Is it any good? And this is pretty cool, right? Like, it's being able to analyze this image and give you some real meaning around kind of like what the colors and what's the emotion that should be pulled from this image. And now for the logo, I'm going, give me some advice, give me some feedback. The logo has a modern and sleek design. The use of blue against a dark background gives it a professional and tech-savvy feel. The skyscraper, I like structures, imply a focus on building construction, which aligns to name build tech. The design is straightforward. See, this is awesome, right? Like, this is really cool. You can it understands what I've uploaded for one. That's the logo. It understands building and construction. And then it's actually giving you perfect, right? Like, you'd obviously write some follow-up questions to this, but at a high level for the advice, it's giving you some feedback, right? And it says, however, the final step will depend on your target audience, company goals, and branding strategy. It's always a good idea to gather feedback from a variety of sources. See, that's awesome, right? I've just asked quite a general piece of feedback, right? Is my logo any good? But I could be like, I could ask it around the colors. I could ask it around the actual image or the actual icon that we've used here. But you can see it's been able to give advice, right? Or give feedback on it, right? So then let's go to the next one. So that's M&A. We've gone through meaning. Now we're giving it advice. Now let's actually get it to generate something. So generate transforming or repurposing visual data into a different format or medium. So an example of this, and I am just giving you one kind of example for each, but there's a whole variety of different use cases that sit under these different categories. But for this one here, I've given it, this is an infographic, artificial intelligence infographic, pros and cons. And what I'm going to actually ask to do here is I'm going to say, here is a photograph, here's a screenshot of an infographic. Can you transcribe it into a text format for me? Okay. Pros, cons. So essentially, let's just go back to the definition: transforming or repurposing visual data into a different format. So I've gone from an image and I'm essentially saying, can you transcribe? I've written that with an arrow. Can you transcribe it into a text format for me? So it's pulling the data, it's reading here, and it's just giving me it listed out into a text format, which is awesome, right? So now I can just go and copy and paste it into another document, etc. Right? I could have asked it to turn it into a HTML file. I could have asked it to turn it into a whole variety of things, right? But I think you get the point. So the G is around generate, so generating something new. So we're going from a visual to generating a new form, whether it's text or code, etc. Okay. Now let's go to I, which is identify. So this is like recognizing and listing specific elements or items present in the image. This is just a little bit different to meaning, right? So for this meaning one up the top here, where I've essentially said, explain the underlying emotion or sentiment, right? It's giving meaning to this photo, right? It's not factual, but it's giving meaning. It's giving general vibe. It's serene. It's breathtaking, right? It's giving some meaning. Whereas for identify, I'm essentially going to ask it, can you factually tell me what this thing is that I'm looking at right now? Right, that's the difference between the two. Very similar, but there is a slight difference. Okay, so let's just go. Let me upload a random car, and for an example here, can you help identify the make and model of this car? All right. And you should be able to. There's a little Tesla, so it's actually looking in, it's looking for the logo, picked it up. Yes, the car in the image is a Tesla Model S. Awesome. All right. Another use case, just an example around the car. You could do this with a million different things. All right. But this is the identify in M.A.G.I.C, right? And lastly, let's go to consult. So consulting, all right, let's just quickly go back to our definition. Assessing the overall composition or impact of an image in relation to a broader context or objective. And that last part of the sentence is key. It's not, hey, just give me feedback. It's like, hey, this is my goal, or this is the context of what's happening, or this is the background of what this is. Give me a response, okay? So an example of this would be let's upload a photo for living room, right? Let me just quickly show you the photo. And I'm going to write something like, here is a photo of my living room. How can I make it more modern and cozy? So you can see this has gone from, hey, like, is my living room, what color is my living room, factual, to like, this is consulting. I'm saying, hey, this is my living room. Help me make it better. How can I make it more modern or cozy? Your living room has a lovely open neutral space. To work with to make it more modern and cozy, here are some suggestions. Add textiles. Consider adding a soft and plush textiles. This can include a shaggy or patterned rug, throw pillows, layered lighting to create warmth, add floor or table lamps with warm bulbs. So this is awesome, right? Like, who needs an interior designer now? I just come into ChatGPT-4 and go, hey, help me design this room, how to make it more warm, how to create more space, etc. Right? And it's giving me like some real great feedback. Introduce indoor plants. So it can see I have no plants in our living room. Right? So this is awesome, right? This is really cool. Add some wall artwork. You can see there is no artwork. All right. So how can I make it cozy and modern and cozy? There you go. That's how I can do it. All right. And so that's the last. That's consulting. All right. Now it's giving us feedback, and it's giving us some instructions around how to make something better. Okay. And so that's the 5, guys. That's the magic framework. Meaning, advice, generate, identify, consult. They're essentially the 5 use cases I think through right now as I explore and play with ChatGPT-4 Vision. Give it a try, guys. Let me know how you go. Until next time, have a good one. Peace.